This is the Action Movie Guys podcast, bringing you action movie reviews from across the decades, plus box office numbers and insight like never before. And now your hosts of the Action Movie Guys podcast, Alex and Nate.
Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Action Movie Guys podcast, episode 315. We're continuing our watch through of the Men in Black franchise. We're up to Men in Black 2 from 2002. I'm your host, Alex Figueroa, and my co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
All right, Nate. So, what? I know you've seen this in the theater. I know you've seen all of them.
Yes.
What was your initial reaction when you went to see part 2 in the theater?
All right. So I saw this movie at the movie theater. I was 15 years old. And in 2002, I was 15. So I saw this actually with a group of other friends of mine. We all went to this theater, watched it. I've never watched it again. So I guess my initial thought was, I don't think I liked it as a 15-year-old because I never revisited it. That's what I'll go with because it was like 20 years ago, but I'm pretty sure because I know for a fact I only saw it that one time.
Yeah, so in terms of myself, I did not see this in the theater. I don't even think I seen part 3 in the theater. I don't think I seen, this is the first, could be the first franchise I did not like go to the theater and watch them at all. So with that, but I did see this when it came out on Blu-ray, and I remember watching it once. And I remember I thought I was on the fence with it. Like I needed to watch it again before I give it like the final stamp of approval. So like I seen it once and I was just like, But other than that, that's pretty much my reaction to it. Let's get to some financials because like we always say, every time we do our franchises, we always have our financials with it. So Men in Black 2 came at a budget of $140 million. That is very high.
Sheesh.
And when you see the movie, it's very noticeable. It's a very higher budget. Yeah. But did it help the movie out with the audience going to the theater? Well, I guess it did because worldwide it made $445 million. So it pretty much doubled. It pretty much doubled because it's pretty much 280 if you really double it. So it pretty much doubled. So yeah.
It doubled the
and
budget,
marketing.
but I don't think it made a lot of money because of that. The first one made more, right? It had a lower budget and it made
Men
a lot.
in Black 1?
Yes. So, I mean, yes, it doubled the budget. That's good. Wait, no, it more than doubled the budget. How much did you say it was?
140.
And how much did it make?
445.
440. Yeah, oh, it like tripled the yeah, okay, then it made money.
Yeah.
It made money.
Well, in terms of the first one made 90 it was a $90 million budget and it made $589 million.
So the first one was more successful, but the second one was successful. You're right. It definitely made a little less, cost a little more, so less returns, but still a profitable franchise. You're right.
Yeah. So, I mean, so in that point, successful. So 1 and 2 was pretty much successful. Now, let's check out what the critics and audience have to say about Men in Black 2. What do we get?
How the mighty have fallen in only from one movie to the next. A huge drop in both. Okay, I'll start with the audience. This has an audience score that is down 35% to a 45. Wow. This is a 45% audience. So regular people didn't really love it. The first movie had an 80. This has a 45. The critic score went down 53%. This has a 38% critic score. The first movie had a 91. So from 91 to 38 and from 80 to 45, huge drops for both audiences and critics as far as if they enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, that's a big significant. I think this is because you always do the Rotten Tomatoes and critics. Yeah. Is this the only franchise that the sequel dropped between the audience and critics that much?
I cannot remember the ones that we have done where the drop was that steep. From one to 2. I've seen it like if you compared probably 3 or 4 with 1. But from the first movie to just part 2, 53% down, 35. Like I can't remember one off the top of my head where it was this big. Like Pirates went down a little bit. Remember, Die Hard went down a bit. But these are like horrible. Like these are huge drops.
Yeah, no, it's really significant. That's a big drop. All right, well, let's get into it. Let's see if there's a problem with the film itself, why the people gave it that drop. So with that said, lead characters, Kay is back, Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith is back as Jay. So yeah, take it away.
I mean, you know what? I didn't like him as much as the first movie. I can tell you that much. And I want everyone to know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't get these Rotten Tomato scores till after I watch the movie. So these have nothing in bearing with my thoughts. But I think these people are right because the characters are worse in this movie. Jay, for example, he has this weird storyline where he's just like wiping everyone's memory. Every time he gets a new partner, he wipes their memory. just because he doesn't like working with them. It didn't feel like the same character from the first movie, if I'm being honest. It was definitely still Will Smith, but he did not feel like the same guy. And this is only 5 years later. It's not like we're talking about, a 10-year gap or a 12-year gap where he's like jaded and old. This has been there for a couple of years and he's out here flashing everybody and erasing their memory. K, doesn't factor in the first 30 minutes. He shows up 30 minutes into the movie and the movie's only 85 minutes. So almost half the movie he's not there. When he finally shows up, of course, you remember he wiped his memory in the last movie and then they undo it with the unnebulizer or whatever it was called.
The denebulizer.
Yeah, the D. And then he kind of slowly gets his memory back and becomes who he is. He at least feels like he did in the first movie, but Jay does not. So I gave him the 3. I still think the chemistry is pretty good between them, but it didn't feel, and the whole thing with the girl with Rosario Dawson, which we'll get more into storyline, but like the way Jay was with her, it was awkward. I felt like it was awkward. I don't know. I gave it a 3.
Yeah, when it comes to Will Smith's character, how do I say it? I felt like something was off with the script in this one. It felt very like they rushed these movies. Well, this movie, it felt like the sequel was rushed. It didn't have the same magic and chemistry of the first. I know they brought back the director. I don't know if they brought back the same writers, but it did not work for me in sense of, you're right, Jay is zapping everyone in the face. And then I felt like the whole mystery of aliens being amongst us in New York, it felt like they threw it out the window because you got a giant 800-foot worm going through the subway station. And I'm like, but how does that work? Like, right. I was just like, that to me, like that whole fun thing of the aliens are amongst us, the conspiracy of aliens and all this. I enjoyed that from the first because it's kind of funny, but they didn't capitalize on it. It's just like everyone's full frontal. You got a talking dog, Frank, running around. You got aliens, the little aliens in the house doing stuff. You got this 800-foot alien. So that didn't work for me. Will Smith's character storyline in terms of the character himself, didn't enjoy it as much at all because you could see that he missed Tommy Lee Jones's character. And I just felt like they couldn't find a way to get him back into that character to bring him. So they had to do this cockamamie zap everybody. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of lame and it was lame. Tommy Lee Jones, I'm going to be honest with you, he looked like he just got paid to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it looked like he just like, okay, you're going to pay me millions. I'll just do what I got to do. He looked natural doing the character because he did, put the stamp on that character, but it just didn't feel like they didn't do anything with K. It was like, oh, the legendary K is back. Right. And everyone's like applauding him and all that crap. And I don't know. I just didn't like it. I felt like it was just a lame story between the characters. I felt like the characters just didn't feel well. Something about the gel. The gel in part 2 did not work very well. So I'm going to give it a 3. I thought they were good, but they're not no 4 or 5 worthy.
The performance was fine, but the character, the writing was not good.
Yeah, I kind of agree on that one. It felt very, something was missing. I don't know. Something was off about it. But all right, let's get to the main villain, which, go ahead, take it away. I don't even know her name.
Sir, whatever her name was.
Sirloin.
All right, we got Sirloin, the worm monster. She's like plant. I don't know if she's plants or she's like vines, kind of.
Yeah, some type of vine.
Laura Flynn Boyle, that's who plays her. Pretty, but I remember her when I was a kid from like TV. She was like she was on some TV show. I don't remember. I didn't like her, to be honest with you. I hated Johnny Knoxville. First of all, I hated Johnny Knoxville as like the henchman guy. He was so annoying. This is 2002. This is like Jackass time, pretty much, late 90s, early 2000s. And he was starting to get into did a few movies. This is probably his most annoying role he's had in a movie that's not a Jackass movie. I hated the little head. It looked horrible. And then her, this is pretty much a repeat of the same movie. It's an alien who comes here who wants a thing. That's literally the same thing. The roach Vincent D'Onofrio is a million times better, but the bug monster wanted to get the galaxy and take it. She wants to get the light of whatever and take it. It's literally the same exact goal, except she's way less funny than the bad guy in the first one. She's better looking, but whoop-de-doo, she's also not in it a lot. There's long stretches where she's not there. And is it just me, or didn't she spend more than half the movie just in the MIB headquarters? Just in there, hanging out in there, talking with Zed. 2. I gave her a 2. I don't think it's the worst villain I ever seen, but she's definitely, from what I remember, she might be the worst in this franchise. I don't know. I did not like her too.
Yeah, I agree with you in this. She was a lackluster. I mean, look, she was great to look at. But again, this is one thing I hate when we do aliens and they take someone's body and all this BS and they got to look like someone. Isn't me, dude? But every time like there's an alien that does this copy off of someone's look, why does it always have to be a model that's like in a bra and panties?
Terminator 3?
Yeah, Terminator 3 did the same thing. Yeah, it's a model, super attractive model that's in her bra and panties. Yeah. And this one did the same thing. And then through I could say almost a whole movie. I mean, not almost a whole movie, but she's in her bra and panties most of the time. Like
she shows her bra again later too. Yeah, like it's just eye candy and nothing more.
Pretty much. I thought she was attractive, but I was just like, is she a model turned actress? Like I was like, who is this person? But honestly, you're right. Her character is just so dull. She was garbage. She did stay in the headquarters most of the time. She didn't fight them.
Nope.
Like normally the bug dude at least beat the shit out of Jay. Like he whooped them all over the place.
Serlina. But that's her name.
Serena? Okay. Serlina. Well, I didn't like her much. I thought she was crap. She was just really bad. Johnny Knoxville sucks. I didn't like his character. I mean, to be really honest with you, if they made him the main villain and gave him those powers, I think it would have been better instead of having two henchmen or whatever you want to call it. But it did not work for me at all. So I gave it a 2 too. I thought it was decent, her character, but it was very, very low from my man, the bug guy. The bug guy was mad cool, and I thought he was way better.
Funny.
And he was funny too.
She wasn't even funny.
No, not at all. So, okay, 2 across the board, action scenes.
Well, I think we're going to see a trend here because I also gave this a 2. Let me be clear. This movie almost does everything the first movie does, except somehow worse. On most fronts. For example, it literally opens up with the alien ship crashing. It looks almost like the first movie where the ship comes down, hits the dirt goes flying up. Like we just saw this in the first movie, and now they're doing the same thing. The one joke that was kind of funny about that is that it turns out the ship is like mad tiny. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
That made me chuckle. But even still, after that, we get, you text me about a different movie about a green screen part. Maybe some of the worst green screen I've seen in a movie that we've watched recently when Will Smith is on the bug in the subway. It looks so, first of all, the bug looks horrible. Some of the CGI in this is okay. It's okay for 2002. That bug is horrible looking. The roach in the first movie from the late 90s looked a million times better than this big worm. And then when he's riding the worm and he's dodging the things, it looks like he's in a video game, like a video game behind him. It looks so terrible that I was like, well, I'm not going to give this a good score. It looks awful. And then you don't get no action for a while until towards the end. And then even that, it's like the thing with the car, where it's literally a PlayStation 2 controller that comes out of it's a spray painted silver PlayStation 2 controller. They couldn't even make one up. They literally just went, let's just get I think I know why. This is Columbia, which is a Sony company.
Sony, yeah.
So they're like, hey, we got to put the controller in there to make people buy the Sonys. And he's like, oh no, what's a Game Boy? I don't know how to do this. Oh my gosh. It was bad. And then the end, it felt abrupt to me. Like you said, she doesn't really fight. She does some stuff and then she can magically turn into like a ball of worms and fly. Why didn't she just fly the whole time? And then the shooter, she turns into fireworks. Movie's over. I give it a 2.
Yeah, well, you know what? You were really nice because I gave it a 1. I
really nice with my 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It was whack. Like I didn't like it at all. The green screen, and it's mostly green screen work.
Yeah, bad.
Like, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Once we do the Star Wars prequels, we got to get to the green screens too, because
all green screen.
Yeah, that was all green screen. So you got to the thing is how do you utilize the green screen?
Correct.
To if it
300 was all green screen, and we love that movie.
That looked pretty well too. Yeah. So this movie is very noticeable, and it looked so horrible, like really bad. That scene when Tommy Lee Jones is kicking her in the face, and you could tell it was a wire work. They picked him up, and he just did his kung fu jet or whatever it is.
With Zed.
Chow.
No, when Zed is doing, he's doing like the bicycle kick. Oh my god.
Yeah, the guy from Mortal Kombat. I forgot what his name was. Liu Kang. Yeah, his bicycle kick. So, to me, that was so bad. I thought the certain scenes scenes with her hand thing was cool, but then it was just like so much effects after that, like in the headquarters. It looked really bad. When they all looked like they were pasted on the wall, that looked really bad. The ending, I felt, to be really honest with you, in terms of action, I felt like it was just, they did not know how to end the movie. They just went straight for we'll shoot this big thing with 2 guns like the first movie and we'll call it a wrap. And that's what they pretty much did. And then one thing I will say that was really creative was the neuralizer was in the Statue of Liberty torch. Yeah. I was like, that was actually pretty cool. Other than that, the subway train station scene was god awful. Eating the train was god awful. So like, to me, I can't say that this was really a step up from the first movie, because at least the first movie, they knew how much amount of action they could do with their budget and they utilized it, where this one, they went over the budget. Yeah. They gave him more budget, and you think it's going to be cool alien fights, and they didn't even give you that. So I thought that was whack. Yeah, so I gave it a 1. You gave it a 2. All right, here we go. Storyline.
Also bad. I mean, we talked about this already with the characters. The villain's storyline is the exact same as the first movie, so you don't get any points for that. J and K are both worse in this movie. Their storyline. I think Rosario Dawson's character, like, I don't know if you would agree, but she just felt so useless. Like, okay, this character witnesses this stuff. Turns out she is like an alien child from an alien. And then at the end of the movie, just flies off. Bye-bye. That's it. No, nothing else. No follow-up. No. I hate the way they explained away Elle. Remember, he's like, well, she wanted to go back to the morgue, so I zapped her. That's it. That's all we got. Because remember, you were talking about why she wasn't in the sequel. They just zapped her back to the morgue. I'm trying to think of what I liked. I thought I like the tiny ship. That made me laugh. I did like Frank. I thought he had some funny lines, honestly. I think it's a dumb idea, but I do like some of the lines he had when he was working with Jay. I also like the locker with the little people in it where they're like,
yeah.
That was funny. That was funny.
That was funny. Yeah.
Probably the best part of the whole movie. It reminded me of when Beetlejuice had his little like world.
The Dante's Inferno, the what is it, the stripper joint?
Because they're all gonna go to the strip club at that one part, like, and then Jay brings up like, you gotta tell these people like this. We can't just keep them in the locker. But then they have to ruin it with the dumb joke at the end where like they're in the locker and there's a really even bigger giant. It's like, you took something funny and you made it not funny. So anyway, a couple of things I liked in that regard, but this is way less funny, way less creative, way less magical, way less everything than the first movie. I give it a 2.
Yeah, I agree with you. I give it a 2 too. I wasn't gonna give it the 1. I thought it was decent. It was entertaining. For me, like, I didn't like it. So I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't like the movie. But it was okay. Like, it reminded me of those Meg movies. Like, it could go either way for you. Like, it could be a good movie to you, or it could be really bad. And to me, I didn't like it at all. I agree with you. It had nothing for me to go, wow. It did not capture the magic from the first movie. You're right. The way they got rid of the other character was so lazy writing. They just zapped her and that's it. I hated the new guy in the beginning when he was like grabbing the flower and he's like telling him not to, and then he was doing it.
Patrick Warburton.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden that big giant 800-foot worm threw him up. What was his name? Frank and Jeff. I'm sorry, Jeff. And I was just like, this is so stupid. Like, I didn't like that at all. I don't know. It just felt like the storyline was just so. You're right. It's the first movie, just stupid. You got to find the light. And then it was Rosario Dawson. She was the princess of whatever planet that she didn't know she was from. And Jay fell in love with her. She fell in love with him. And, Kay knew who she was all the time, but they had to unlock him with the
and he might be her dad. That's what they insinuated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he loved the mom or whatever. So I didn't like it at all. Again, there was some moments I did enjoy. So I know I'm saying a lot of negatives. This is what I did enjoy from the movie. I do agree. Frank singing the Gloria Gaynor song, the I Will Survive. I thought that was really funny. I like the aliens in the apartment when he takes her for the first time and they all start making jokes. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Oh, and I did like the post office scene with Kay when he was with Biz Markie and they were doing the like
the guy that's like really fast, doing it really fast.
Yeah, that dude was mad funny when he took his cigarette and he put another one in. That was funny. Like that to me, that is what this movie was missing. That creative environment, like that would have been more fun. So they took it away and they didn't even elaborate much of him getting divorced by his wife that he literally sacrificed the Men in Black for to go back, and she got rid of him.
Yeah, they just said it like a throwaway line.
Yeah, that's again lazy writing. This shit was a lazy. Someone got paid and said, "Hey, we're making Men in Black 2. I got a good script here. Let's just get it on." And they did. So like I said, I gave it a 2. I agree with you. You gave it a 2. Okay, overall,
man, you know what? I agree with something you said earlier too, and you were talking about how like for, what's the worm, Jeff, whatever, when he like comes out of the subway, mad big. Everyone would have seen him. New York is a busy place. They don't really mention it. The problem is there's too many aliens in this movie. Everyone's an alien. Everybody's an alien. Going down the street, apparently everyone who works at the post office is an alien. Everybody that's walking down the street is an alien. There's a worm that lives in the subway there. It's like, what is going on? And like you mentioned in the first movie, it's like Secret, the National Enquirer. Did I see an alien? Here, just everywhere. Aliens everywhere. They shoot there in the sky. There's like magical fireworks. People be like, that's kind of weird. Why is there weird looking fireworks on a Tuesday night? Whenever this is set. So, I didn't like this movie. When I was watching it, it just felt like it was lacking everything. It had no spark. It didn't have that energy of the first movie. And the weird thing is, I agree with you where it feels rushed, and yet this is 5 years after the first movie. So it's not like they didn't have time. It's not like this movie came out 8 months after the first one, and they just like, we gotta hurry up. They had time to write a good movie. And instead, this just felt like it was just put out just to put something out. And I gave it a 2. I'll avoid the 1. I don't think it's like the worst movie because there's slight entertainment value. But compared to the first movie, it is not even close. It's not good.
Yeah, I gave it a 2. I thought it was decent, but I agree. It is by far nowhere near the first one. I think the first one is going to be the big one of the franchise. I haven't seen 3 ones, and I've never seen part 4. So again, that ain't going to be better
than part 1. I'll tell you that right now. Spoiler.
So like in terms of this movie, like I said, I gave it a 2. There were some things I did like, but it was cool seeing the characters. But again, it's just one of those things that they just pretty much should have took their time writing a good script, whether it would have took 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, or 10 years to come back. At least it would have been a nice scripted film, but we didn't get that. It felt very rushed, felt very lazy. It felt very like it just it wasn't even creative, the plot line. It was just one of those, the same carbon copy of the first with just different environment, different characters, different aliens. I will say this in defense of the post office scene is that they put those aliens there to protect Kay.
Yeah.
Since you don't remember. But you're right. Other than that, in New York City, everybody's an alien. I mean, when he was coming out of the shop and he was looking, the postman had a thing in his butt, like a tail.
Yeah.
You had like the hooker ladies across the street, I guess was aliens because he was looking at them. And then, so I agree with you in that point, the sense of, it's like John Wick though. Like the whole world, John Wick, everyone was an assassin. Yeah, everyone's assassins and then they're killing each other in front of people and everyone's just walking by like it's cool. So
there's no secrecy.
Yeah, there's no I agree with that. The first one had the secrecy, you're right. That's the thing I liked about the first one was the stupid Inquirer thing. And he was like, why are you buying that? It's all fake. And he was like, nope. And that's what you think. Right. And I liked that. I thought that was pretty cute, like to throw in. But yeah, I agree. I gave it a 2. So, okay, total points.
I did like the Michael Jackson cameo too. That was funny. He's like, come on, I could be Agent M. He really wants to be an agent and it just go off the screen. It made me laugh.
Should have been one of his agents. Yeah, it would have been funny.
If he had more scenes, I think it would have been funny because I thought he was pretty funny in that little clip.
He's a good actor. Like, if you've seen him in movies, Michael Jackson was a really good actor.
I mean, remember his music video, freaking Thriller and all? Those were like little mini movies. It's not like he
enjoyed doing them, so I don't know why they didn't give him a small role. I'd rather see him than the stupid doofus in the beginning of the movie fighting that worm. Yeah. That he was crying in the thing like,
that was stupid. I gave it an 11 out of 25. I did not like it.
Oh, 11?
Yeah, I did not like it. It's as bad as, okay, I can't say it's as bad as I remember because I didn't remember what happened, but I think I liked it as little as I did the first time I saw it. So yeah, 11 out of 25.
All right, so I gave it a 10.
Yeah, because you gave the action a 1.
Yeah, I gave it a 1. I gave a storyline a 2. Yep. Overall 2. Main villain a 2. Action 1. And then I gave the lead characters a 3. So yeah, super low.
That's not good.
Nope. I gave it a 10. That's really bad. So Nate, what is coming up next on the podcast?
Well, hopefully we can only go up from here. So next week, or next episode, I should say, we will continue with Michael Bay month with Pearl Harbor from 2001. And then where we can only go up, hopefully, with this next Men in Black movie, Men in Black 3, another movie that I saw at the theater, and I haven't seen it since then, but I know there's a long break, at least 10 years between 2 and 3. So maybe they wrote a better script. We'll find out because we're going to tell you about it next week. Those are our next 2 episodes coming up.
Now, question, Men in Black 3 has Josh Brolin, right? He plays Tommy Lee Jones'
There's time
character?
travel involved, and he plays a young Agent K.
Okay.
Because Tommy Lee Jones is in it, but Josh Brolin is the younger version of him.
Okay. So, okay. All right. I seen it once. So I don't remember much of it.
I remember
but, okay.
liking him. Again,
All right.
I only saw it once also, and I remember thinking, he's doing a pretty good, not Tommy Lee Jones.
Impersonation?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we'll see. We'll see if it's better, and if the money was there, and if the Rotten Tomatoes agrees, but I remember not hating that movie.
Okay. All right. There you got it. There you guys have it. You guys want to follow us in our social media accounts? Please follow Nate over on Instagram. He goes live every other Monday when we're not live on his Instagram account. That is Netflix Movie Reviews on Instagram. Him and his friends from his old podcast got together again to do live streams on Instagram when we're not live YouTube. So again, that's Netflix Movie Reviews. You can check out their old podcast, Netflix Movie Reviews, right? Yeah. Netflix Movie Reviews on all your podcast platforms. Action Movie Guys is on Geeks and Flicks Instagram. So again, Instagram at Geeks and Flicks. All your news for Action Movie Guys. So head over to our official website, www.geeksandflicks.com. Other than that, I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
Be awesome to each other and geek out.